Afternoon, folks. I'm Dave Canterbury with Self-Reliance Outfitters in the Pathfinder School, back down here at the Pathfinder Outdoor Classroom. What I'm doing today is I'm going to shoot part 2 of the military surplus gear you should buy before it's gone. And a lot of this stuff is getting more and more obscure all the time. Some of it's still currently made, aftermarket, and some of it's not. So what I wanted to do, the first video, I was only going to shoot the first 5 out of the 10, and I ended up shooting like 7. So I'm going to shoot 5 more and give you a bonus in this one as well. But what I want to talk about first in this video to kind of go with this surplus stuff is, if you remember right, one of my favorite items in that first video was this 2-quart collapsible canteen. Now, the military also made a collapsible 1-quart canteen, although I've never seen one before. But research I've done says that they did make one and put it into production, but I've never seen one for sale. When I find one, I'm going to buy it. But the beauty of this 2-quart canteen is that it's collapsible. Now, it's great that you have a carrying pouch for this. You can carry it on your side, so you can carry 2 quarts of water. And you can carry a metal canteen as well, so you've got 3 quarts of water with you. Once this thing is emptied out, you could obviously boil water in your canteen or canteen cup and fill it up. But the fact that this is collapsible makes it more usable to me for other applications. And if you'll remember right, we recently came out with this adapter that's 3D printed by a buddy of mine in New York that does 3D printing for us. And this adapter goes on the Pathfinder wide mouth canteen and allows you to screw a Sawyer filter into it so that you can filter straight into the canteen itself with some type of hanging bag. Now, generally, when you buy a Sawyer, you get one of those plastic squeeze bags that's 16, 18 ounces, really noisy, loud thing. And most people end up replacing those with a knock bag. And a knock bag is basically just a rubberized version of a collection bag that you can squeeze down, and it doesn't make a lot of noise. It's silicone, so it's flexible, or it's silicone-like material. It's a rubberized material. It's very flexible. And most of your Appalachian thru hikers use those. I have never had a problem with one of those. But looking at this 2-quart canteen made me think, well, this could be your dirty bag, so that you could take 3 quarts of water out with you when you left, and once you emptied this out and it was gone, it could become your dirty bag until you got back or until you dried it out again, so you could put clean water in it if you wanted to. But to make this the dirty bag, you have to have an adapter for the Sawyer that will screw onto those threads, because those threads are different than any other threads on the market, these military style threads for the 2-quart, 1-quart canteen. And so this adapter allows you to basically screw an adapter onto the top of the 2-quart canteen, just like this, and then screw the Sawyer filter on top of that. And you could do one of 2 things now. You could either use this adapter for the Pathfinder canteen and water bottle, or you could just drain this right into any vessel and it would work fine, okay? The beauty of that is now I've got a squeeze bag that's pretty much indestructible with this 2-quart canteen. And I also have a bag that, instead of just being used for a dirty bag, can also be used to transport water very easily, because again, it's heavy duty. So if I put it on the outside of my pack or whatever, it gets brushed up against brambles or anything like that, because I've got it in a side pocket, you're not going to hurt it any, okay? So this adapter, this second adapter that goes with this kind of a system that we're developing of stuff that goes together really well, should be on our website on Monday. They were shipped out to us on Friday. So we should have them maybe Tuesday, all right, on our website. You'll have the adapter for the 2-quart canteen. So the 2-quart canteen obviously is a big win as far as carryable equipment even to this day, and something that's very, very useful, okay? And again, you know, you've got one adapter that goes on one end, one adapter that goes on the other end, so that you can marry those 2 up if you want to drain straight from the 2-quart into the canteen or into the water bottle. You can connect that whole system together and just hang it and let it go, all right? Oh, enough said on that. Now let's get to this military surplus everyone should own besides the 2-quart canteen, which is obviously one of my favorites. We talked about that in part 1. We talked about the military canteen set being a very big favorite of mine. other than the fact it didn't have a metal canteen. So we redeveloped that into a wide mouth stainless steel canteen to go with a stainless steel cup to go into the military 1 quart, or the military 1 quart canteen carrier, okay? We talked about that in the last video. One of the things that I mentioned in the last video that I got a lot of questions about were sustainment pouches. And I put some sustainment pouches on my Pathfinder Scout Pack. I'll put a picture of that in this video. And it makes it look very much like a British Bergen at that point. And what these are is they're just straps that go on with MOLLE. They have 2 on each side, so you can put it along the side of the pack. And it gives you 2 large sustainment pouches. Basically pouches that you could put double MREs in each side if you wanted to. Longer term sustainment items you would put in this, and it has a drawstring closure on it with a cord lock, and then it has a flap, basically with the same buckle type closure that most of this MOLLE 2 stuff has on it, okay? You can still find these sustainment pouches. They're not real expensive. And they do adapt well to the Pathfinder Scout Pack. So if you have one of those packs, they adapt very well to that pack and give you that more storage capacity if you need it for, again, longer term sustainment, okay? The next item on my list is the military MOLLE butt pack, all right? And this is just an elongated butt pack with a single zipper. It's a single compartment pack that zips both directions. It has a waist strap on it that can be tucked in if you want to, and it also connects to other packs. But it also has the ability to be able to connect it to a frame, which I think is very useful in a lot of ways, because I connect it to a tubular type aluminum frame a lot and just have this one small pack, and then I can put other stuff on the frame modularly if I want to. And if you remember right, some of the first videos I ever did were modular pack frame videos with the Alice pack frame that we're going to talk about in just a second. These butt packs here are actual butt packs, okay? What a lot of people don't know is when you look at like an M1967 butt pack that a lot of guys carry on a harness, that was never really meant to be a butt pack. It was a haversack or a food bag. Basically, it was a military mess kit bag. So you'd put a military mess kit and rations inside that pack, incidentally, on your butt, so it was a butt pack. But it was designed really for food. This pack was not designed for that purpose. This pack was designed for extra gear. This was a gear style pack that plugged in or went onto other packs like the MOLLE 2 patrol packs, things like that, and also could be used on a frame or independently with a belt. Again, this is one of my favorite pieces of gear because it makes a quick butt pack or sling bag that you can pretty much take anywhere, and you can throw pretty much the 10 C's in this thing if you need to for an emergency. Because it has a belt on it, you can attach a canteen to it, you can attach a water bottle to it, you can attach a larger belt knife to it, whatever you want to, and it gives you a nice butt pack or sling bag that you can use if you want to for the field. And they're not very expensive, and they're still fairly readily available. Amazon, eBay, places like that, you can still find that pack. All right, so that's 2 more. The next one would probably be the military modular sleep system. Pretty much everybody knows what this is. It's a 3-part system that has 2 sleeping bags, one lighter weight, one heavier weight, that can be put inside it. One can be put inside the other one, snapped together to make a heavier bag. And it also has a Gore-Tex outer, in this case, woodland camouflage shell that's completely waterproof so that you have a bivy system that you can sleep in. This is probably one now that is getting harder and harder to find at a decent price, especially a good one that hasn't been beat to death already, that the Gore-Tex isn't wore out and got holes in it, things like that. But if you can find a system like this is a great thing to just throw in a car, throw in a boat, throw in your camper, throw in the back of your pickup truck. And if you ever have to spend the night somewhere just down and dirty, you can throw this thing on the ground and go to sleep in it, and you're going to be good in just about any weather, especially if you have some kind of a pad you can slide in there as well. Then you're going to be golden, okay? So the military modular sleep system is a very good thing to buy, especially while they're still available. Now, the woodland ones may be a lot harder to find than something in ACU, but you can still find them, okay? Now, that brings us to, that's 1, 2, 3. That brings us to one of my old all-time favorites, which is the Alice pack, okay? This one is camouflage denier material. This one is a little harder to find because it's a newer model before they kind of phased them out and went into the new Molly system. So this is a fairly newer style Alice pack. It's made out of a material that's not the same as the old Alice packs, but all the features are exactly the same. It has the straps, it has the waistband, it has the detachable frame that you can put on or take off of, put the straps on the pack. It has 3 main pockets in the front. It has a subdivision pocket inside, a big bucket with grommet holes on the bottom, and it also has a split pouch here at the top where you can put stuff inside of and get to from the outside of the pack if you want to, maps and things like that. This is one of the first pack systems I ever used in my videos. The frame I used in my videos separated from the pack altogether for different things and making modular systems. You can take the frame off of this and you can put a trash can on it. If you're doing something in the wintertime like trapping, and you want to carry a trap basket, you strap a trash can to this frame and you're good to go. This system is very, very durable. It's also very, very adaptable to lots of things. And again, you can still find them fairly inexpensively. Finding one like this in woodland camouflage may be more difficult than finding one in OD green or finding one in some other color phase, but you can still find these Alice packs and frames online. And I would suggest that anybody have at least one of them in their arsenal. They're a little bit small for things like large game hunting, for packing out large game and things like that, because the frame is fairly short, but they'll do the job, and they're a very good pack to own, okay? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, all right? The 5th item that I would say in this video is the meat can. And everybody's gonna say, well, that's a mess kit. It is. But originally it was called the meat can. When it was originally designed in the late 1800s, it was made to carry uncooked meat and seal it in a can and carry it over distance and then be able to cook in that same can. It was redesigned and redeveloped over time. This is more of a Vietnam era here from like 1967. But what you have with this is you have a set of silverware, and military surplus silverware is awesome stuff. You're not gonna hurt this stuff, and you can put a pretty sharp edge on that knife if you know what you're doing with a belt sander. You basically have a light gauge stainless steel skillet that you can use over the fire, and you have a plate that you can eat out of at the same time. Or you can use this thing like a lid, and you can use this thing to cook with like that as well. This is a very, very good system. It's not as popular anymore as it was for a long time. However, it's still very viable to this day, still works very, very well to this day, and you can still find them fairly inexpensively. And make sure that you've got a full set of utensils with that bad boy and it's not too beat up and you're ready to go. So the military mess kit would be my number 5 for the day. Now, if I were gonna give you a bonus, besides the bonus of the filter system that we're having put together right now for this 2-quart collapsible canteen, I would say that it is the U.S. military pocket knife, okay? And this is a Camelus made U.S. issue pocket knife, just like any Scout pocket knife, with can opener, screwdriver, bottle opener, awl, and knife blade, except it's all metal, right? There's no way you're gonna destroy this thing. It's made by Camelus. This one here is I think this was a 1974, 75. I've got a 1967 and I've got a 1990s one from later. All of them are just fine. They all work good. They all hold a good edge. And for a good camp style pocket knife that you just want to carry around your pocket, this thing's great. What I do with mine is, honestly, I keep it right here in the side pouch, right next to some water purification tabs in my canteen. So I've always got that small utilitarian type knife with me. And then I've got iodine on the other side and a cigarette lighter on the other side. So iodine, cigarette lighter, tabs, pocket knife. And there's also a small ferro rod in there as well. So I've got several ways to start fire if I need to in a hurry, and I've got a way to boil and disinfect my water, and I've also got a way to cook because I've got a canteen cup and lid. So, with all that said, those are some of my top buy them now before they're gone. Now there's a lot of things out there that are pretty much already gone that I'd love to talk about as well. So if you guys are interested in a third part to this video of more obscure military surplus items that are a little harder to find, but are in my top 20, let me know, and we'll get to those as well. I'll make a part 3 and part 4 of this video with some other stuff in it as well. I appreciate your views and I appreciate your support. I thank you for everything you do for our school, for our family, for our business, all of our sponsors, instructors, affiliates, and friends. And I'll be back to another video, guys, as soon as I can. Thanks.